What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. I am your host, Steve V. This is episode 740, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm really well. How are you?
Really good. Thank you so much. Also joining us, the lovely, talented Cody Maurice Doggett. How the hell you doing, Cody?
Hello, darling. Doing well, thank you.
Lovely. Well, today we are moving on because, Cody, last episode on Tags Live, we were talking about whether sex is easily obtainable in the gay community. And it was all based on a viral tweet that went out that basically said sex is super easy as a gay person, right? But we broke it down. We said it was a little more complicated than that. Although you did say, Cody, sex has been pretty easy for me lately.
I mean, all you have to do is walk out on the street and you're stepping all in the ass. So ass everywhere.
For others, not at all. But today, we wanted to go a little bit deeper and kind of move that conversation a little bit further, because the real question isn't whether sex is easy to get. It's what happens to us when it is. What happens when validation is always one tap away, when desire is always available, when the next person is always 5 feet or 5 minutes away, or 1 minute in this building. Does abundance make us feel free? And I thought about that word abundance because often in my morning meditation, I ask for abundance, but maybe I should be asking for enough. Abundance signifies something else. Like, rich people that have so much that they're the ones that commit white collar crimes at times. When you have too much of a good thing, it seems maybe that's not always good. Maybe I should be asking for enough. Or does it quietly make connection feel more disposable? But when something is scarce, we tend to value it. When something is everywhere, we sometimes stop seeing it at all. And maybe the deeper truth is sex isn't the hard part. Staying, choosing, connecting, being seen beyond the moment. That's the part that still feels kind of rare. So today we're kind of talking about what abundance has done to our hearts, not to our bodies. And to bring you in, Jeremy, this is what we were talking about with this viral tweet that basically said almost like sex is so easy, it's taken down from the pedestal. But Cody and I broke it down that, if you live in some of the major cities or if you look a certain way, but do you think that with the easily accessibility of sex and with PrEP being around for years now and PEP and DoxyPEP, that what are your thoughts on, have we taken it for granted, sex?
I think so. I think I honestly feel like it's kind of at this point. Kevin and I were actually talking about this recently. I feel like it's almost transactional, and it is because it is easily accessible. I think what's harder to find is someone that you can keep their attention for more than 5 minutes. I think finding connection and someone that's thoughtful or actually actively listening to what you're saying and retaining what you're saying. I think all of those things and emotion is hard to find. And I think that the sex part of it is one of the easier parts. And I think, but I say that on a 50-50 kind of scale because I don't think it's easy for everyone. I think in our community that is super kind of judgmental at times, it is a lot easier when you look a certain way or you have a certain body and you are of a certain age. And then I think once you hit like a certain, like a different age or weight, or I think it becomes harder. And I also think that the location has a big thing to do with it because I think uh, when you're in a major city like New York City, you're surrounded by gays. And when you use the apps, you really see the difference in the community, like communities and neighborhoods and areas that you're in, and the influx of just accessibility of gays everywhere. When you come to suburbia, it's completely different, and the distance is different, and the amount of men is significantly different, and the age brackets are different. Like it just varies so much more. And I think that that's something that we definitely take for granted. And I don't know, I just feel like it's like a bigger conversation, and I do feel like social media also factors into it, and the fact that just interacting with people is so easy to do because of social media that you don't really even have to leave your house.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about accessibility, I can't help but think we lost it a few years ago, but there was a sex club in here in Chelsea where I live, and it was the next street over. I think I dragged you over there a few times, Jeremy,
Yes.
and it was literally the next street over, and it would open up at 5 a.m. So you could literally leave the bars, the clubs, and then make your way over to this place. And I was there every Saturday night at the time, and sex was super easily, and it went into, I don't know, like 8 or 9 a.m. Not that I stayed that whole time, but sex was super accessible. Diego's making comments over there. And and yes, but it's closed down since then. But it was super easily. I don't know that I valued it was accessible. I don't know if I valued it more. And Cody, I don't, by no means are we trying to say that sex isn't good. By all means, we're a sex podcast and we are so open about sexuality. And we can't help but talk about the sexual revolution that paved the way for us to freely be sexual human beings and celebrate that. And so I think if you notice a trend recently, we've been going down a path of merging the two. That how can you have hot gay sex like we say at the end of every episode and still somehow find meaningful connections? And by connections, it doesn't always have to be like you have to get married like I do. It just connections in general. But are we losing that, Cody? And do you see where the merge is coming through and what we're talking about here?
I mean, I definitely see it. And if I knew how to ensure that you forged meaningful connections even during hookups, I would be writing a book about it. I would be making millions of dollars. So I still don't have the answer, but I am still searching. The way that I explore in this way and the way that's worked best for me, I feel like talking beforehand, especially when you are even trying to hook up, even on Grinder or Sniffies or what have you. I think the more that you kind of chat with the person, you kind of gauge what they are into, and like not even like sexually. I think actually, like in life, if they are a conversational type of person, if they want to engage with you and go a little bit, not necessarily deeper, but actually treat you like a human being. I think that my bar is pretty low when it comes to hookups, but I just want to make sure that they actually see me and not just see my penis, and that I'm actually a whole person. So I think that's a good place to start. And I think that, we have to take that for ourselves is something that we can't have other people's make sure that they are respecting us. We have to respect ourselves and make sure that people are treating us the way that we want to be treated.
Yeah, and I think in many ways we've really been conditioned in many ways to look down a sexual path in a healthy way. And we're starting to see really good examples on media, which is super healthy in different types of relationships, whether it's Pillion with a Dom sub BDSM relationship, Heated Rivalry, where it's the sports arena, or actually full-fledged relationships that are just, nobody blinks an eye. It's just a gay relationship in a TV show. And I think these are really helping younger people, at least, how they view all types of relationships. But I mean, app culture in general, I feel like app culture has conditioned us in many ways to keep looking for the better. And it's one reason why I don't swipe a lot. Even on social media, I don't tend to look a whole lot. I have got my favorite people that I look up, but anytime, say on Instagram, for a while, because I'm into feet, if I put anything feet, everything feet came up. And I do not want that conditioning me and coming up on my feed at every 2 seconds. I mean, just before we got on live, Diego was looking at this one feed and it was literally like, is that porn on Instagram? And a guy was like sniffing a
Probably.
guy's socks and licking this.
Oh
And
my
I mean, it was
god.
stuff that I would see when I'm looking at my Tumblr porn.
I've seen
And
full on poll on Instagram.
right. And it's like, see, but I don't want my algorithm because I know I will go down that path. And so, I mean, hey, Jeremy, I mean, do you think that app culture has conditioned us to keep looking for better?
I do. I think we tend to spend lots of time and hours looking at a screen and doom scrolling. And I just feel like it's good to monitor how much time you yourself spend looking at things on the phone and how much you take away from that. And I think you can get inspired by others and creativity and things like that that you see online, but there's a fine line of where you go down a rabbit hole and waste lots of time looking at random, either like dumb shit or just things that are not inspiring as well.
Yeah, I mean, Cody, if we are built for sex and finding sex
Ooh.
easily as gay men, did we lose it? Do you think there's like a lack of education? Not that there's a total education for our
Open the schools.
counterparts for how to make a relationship last or find connection, but is there an overemphasis often on sex and less on finding that deeper connection, maybe due to the apps?
So first of all, I'm gonna get "Built for Sex" on a T-shirt. I'm writing that down right now because that's awesome. But I do think that maybe the apps probably attribute to it. I think us as human beings, like we are automatically looking for that sexual gratification all the time, and I think when you start to see that sex is not going to fulfill you in a certain way. It does fulfill you in one way, but if you're looking for more, if you're trying to search for more, it's not going to fulfill that need for actually having more and actually a partner and the support that they can provide for you. So I think that once you realize that, then you can move forward. So I think it's really a human condition, and the apps and all of that only exacerbates the whole need for sex and valuing that over an actual relationship. Because, like we've said before here, relationships are hard. And once things get hard, people want to give up and they want to go back to what they know and that instant gratification. So, yeah, it's a rabbit hole, basically.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And again, we are by no means shaming sex. We love sex on this. We're built for sex. I love the quote.
Hey.
We'll go with that. Get it on a t-shirt soon, Cody, sell it. But if we're talking about like a disposable culture, has anyone ever felt disposable after sex? Like, ooh, that was just, I mean, I don't know that I ever really have felt disposable because I think anytime I ever had a hookup, I've had moments where I really liked the person and wanted to kind of chit chat and go on, and they were like, yeah, they were done, and I wanted to maybe carry it on, and I knew it was never going to happen again. Does that sound familiar, Jeremy? Like that sex is when you meet
Yeah,
people.
I think sometimes after like I remember just like random hookups with people that you don't know, and I feel like there is some sort of emptiness after it, that if you're not in like a committed relationship or you don't have like a lot of close relationships around, there's like a little bit of like longing and loneliness that I think lingers after. And I feel like I do remember that being a thing when you hook up often or commonly and with people that you don't know. Like, say, it's so transactional that you
Hello?
don't know their
Hello?
name and things
I
like
think he
that. I
got
do feel
disconnected.
like
Oh,
I
shoot. Who's
remember
Oh, there we
after,
go.
I do remember after like feeling a little bit, I don't know, lonely or just longing for more than it just being that.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point because in many ways, I think it's your state of mind and where you're at. I can remember times feeling that way where I was hooking up with people and also wanted to be in a relationship at the same time. And then I felt that loneliness. And then I have this instant memory of where I was met somebody, went to Hell's Kitchen, they were in a hotel, had hot, amazing sex with this person, only to find out that the mother was like calling in the morning.
Yeah.
It was in
What?
the lobby, and I literally had to pass by the mom with,
Oh my
I
gosh.
know, but I remember deciding it was like kind of a spring day, not like it is now. And I remember I'm just going to walk home. And I had that I just got fucked look that was hot, but I'm like, I'm just going to storm down Ninth Avenue proudly in that Madonna sex book kind of like, oh my God, I just had an amazing night feel. And so I do think it kind of depends on your frame of mind on where you're
Yeah.
at with it. I mean, but Cody, can you relate to any of that? Or have
Oh,
you ever
all of it.
treated someone else as disposable?
Oh no, honey, my bottoms feel loved. Okay, let's put that out there first and
Okay.
foremost. Daddy loves you,
That's
baby.
another
Okay.
shirt. My bottoms feel love.
But yes, I can associate with both of those feelings. The whole emptiness and loneliness after a hookup. I've definitely had that feeling, especially back before I was in my relationship. That's because that's what I was yearning for. I was actually not yearning for sex, even though sex was easy to get and it was something that I was indulging in. But more recently, I have felt disposable. Like after I broke up with my ex, I had a lot of sex. And sometimes the people that you have a lot of sex with, they don't value it. You could literally be anybody. And that is when I would feel disposable. So I have two particular instances. One of them was like, those people that hit you up and they're like, oh, I'm ass up in a hotel
Oh
room. And
yeah.
like you don't
Open
even
the
see their
door.
face.
Door
Yeah. And
unlock.
that could be hot, but you could literally be any dick. It could be
Right.
any dick. So for me, that made me feel like I'm like anybody. So that part, and then also I hooked up with this one guy. He was super hot, super hot, but he would had this like rotating, like rotating tops coming in and out. And I had some guys come in while I was fucking him, and a lot of guys that came in after, and I would like say hello to them, and that made me feel like, oh, I could just be anybody, but he was gorgeous. He's hit me up in a couple times here before, so I've kind of framed my mind around, okay, this guy just wants to have sex, and you literally could be anybody, but he continues to hit you up because you must be good at sex. So I don't know. That's kind of how I am rationalizing it right now. But in the moment, with not eight, but like three other tops in the room, and I literally could have been anybody. So yeah,
And in
I've
a
had that
way,
feeling a couple times.
from your perspective, if like we talked about, from your perspective, if you're in that state of mind where this could be really hot, almost like you're taking the baton and you can kind of get into that sex moment, like he's a really hungry bottom and there's going to be other guys, and you can kind of get into that if that's where your mindset is at. If you liked this guy beyond any of that,
Oh, I didn't like him.
that's
I liked his
probably
ass.
not. Yeah, then I think it could go, oh, I'm just like a number or a body, and he just likes my skill, but it kind of just has to go with where you're at. And we all have times and places, I think, in life where we're in, or sometimes we're able to do all of this. And I think
Hmm.
that's really awesome too. And more power to the people that can do that.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about easy sex, and then we shift over to emotional vulnerability, which can be for many of us scarier. Is it easier to be naked physically than emotionally, Jeremy?
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is it easier to just have sex than to open up to somebody
Of course
about?
it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a given because I mean, I guess you do have to be turned on, but I find that that's a lot easier than being vulnerable. And I think that during sex you are vulnerable, but it's a different kind. I think when emotion comes into it and you have to speak your feelings, I think that's much more difficult, but I feel like it depends on the person too.
Yeah, I mean, I just came off of celebrating our 1 year marriage, and 1 year was amazing with so many highs. We really put ourselves through a lot though in this 1 year, and there is some definitely tough times. We also moved in together, but I almost felt a shift from the, like I told Diego, the 2 year point is just shifting already. I mean, we're already changing a lot of the way we're communicating so much better, and, work in progress, of course. But I just feel like we know so much about each other, and emotionally, sexually, all those nitty gritty things, bathroom antics, everything. And it's beautiful now. It took some rocky roads though to get there, and some, both of us having to check ourselves in many different ways and pick your battles. And it is harder, it is scarier, and still finding the time to have intimate time for ourselves, sexual moments for ourselves. And that is not an easy task, but we are here for it. And year two is already off to a great start. But what do you say, Cody? What do you think about hookup culture? Has hookup culture made vulnerability feel kind of riskier because it's so easy, but feeling vulnerable with somebody is that much harder?
Yeah, it's easier for you to run away from your feelings and your emotions. So if you can get some sort of validation from hooking up with somebody, then why would you risk opening up to someone else when
Hmm.
that can be so much
Mm.
more traumatizing? Oh my God. Woo. Am I getting the vapors? But yeah, I think it's so for me, you asked Jeremy earlier if it's easier to be naked physically than emotionally, and I think totally 100% I agree with that, because it is harder, because like you we see our physical and we can be confident in the physical. As far as that beauty is concerned, I think I could find somebody very easily who finds me beautiful on the outside, but will that same person find me beautiful on the inside? I think that kind of rejection, as far as like you being vulnerable and someone finding you beautiful on the inside, is a lot more traumatizing than being rejected for the
Hmm.
physical, because you put more value on what's inside personally. So I
But
think
it's also about the connection, Cody, too. It's like, yes, of course, finding beautiful. I mean, anybody would find you beautiful inside, but then it's that
thank you, boo.
connection that you find with somebody too, that you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah, and that's not
you
easy to find. I
that's
think
not
people think
easy
that
to
that's easy
find.
to find, but it's not.
It's not. It really is not. I mean, I remember going on a lot of dates and finding, oh my God, they're so hot, or they're cute. I could get into this, and liking what they did, and then having conversations with them, and then just going, yeah, no.
I've had so many days like
Check,
that. Like,
please. Yeah.
check, please.
Well, I
Yes,
think it's definitely easier to meet people that have like shitty personalities compared to great personalities. I mean,
those are the single ones.
yeah, I think that's just it's so much easier to find that than really amazing personality.
Yeah. Or even, maybe not even shitty. It's just like, wow, this is a really cool person,
Yeah.
but they're just not for me.
Yeah.
But I remember going, because I did the speed dating, and I remember going on a couple dates, and one, I thought he was cute, and he matched up with me, and we ended up meeting for drinks, and he was really lovely for all intents and purposes. And I'm sure yeah, I mean, I do, but I could tell, and I think it was mutual too. I think we were going through it, but it was just like, yeah, there's just not a connection here. And
Hmm.
it had nothing to do with, I mean, he was perfectly fine. It just not And I think he probably felt the same way too. Like, yeah, it's just we're not connecting really. But
Yeah.
he wasn't an asshole or anything like that.
Yeah, I was just joking. I'm single. I have a great personality.
Of course, yeah. I mean, age has a lot to do with this too. I mean, was sex more exciting when it was less available, or has your relationship to sex changed as you've aged, Jeremy?
It's definitely changed as I've aged, and I feel like I when I was younger, I had a lot more time to spend just thinking about it in general, and um, always like focusing on it, I guess, more than as I've been older and like wiser and just busier.
Yeah, it's definitely changed for me. And one way, which is really funny because ChatGPT has been one of my friends for, I'm going away to hot, sunny Puerto Vallarta in 6 weeks. And I always use an upcoming trip to, okay, let's get in shape. And 6 weeks is always a good, I'm always working out, but I put into ChatGPT what my goals were and where I'm at. And it really produced one of the things it said to me, because I love the way my chat GPT talks to me. And it said, well, we're not trying to get a 25-year-old body anymore. 55 is different. But the way they said it and the way they proceeded on was like, okay, I like this. I like it. But it's true. I mean, I in 25 was hot and bothered and everything that walked and I'm really glad that at 25 I didn't have social media around, because I think I definitely would have been glued to it. And I think that's why later I'm like, it was not part of my growing up, so I'm not a part of my thing. And so I do think, yeah, sex has changed as I've aged, in some ways for the better, because as you age, in some ways you're like, oh, I've learned to be a lot more versatile and take on my topness, which I didn't in the past. And in other ways, it's like not always put so much emphasis on it as well, and work on the balance of my relationship and sex. But what do you say to this, Cody? As you've aged, has your relationship to sex changed at all?
Oh, definitely. I'm so much freer now with sex. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on it before. I had the expectations that I needed to live up to. And I found that actually having sex and experiencing it and having confidence in my abilities during sex has freed me up so much more. So I just take so much more pleasure in it. And I think one of the best things that I've learned as far as sex is concerned, and growing older in my sexuality, is that like you don't always have to come. I feel like that is
Right.
something that
That's a good
I
one.
had to really, really wrap my head around. And sex is not just coming, it is the entire experience.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, that is a really good
It
Although coming
is.
is fun.
yeah,
Thank you.
light bulb moment, Oprah. Yeah, that's really good. I do think that what we're kind of coming to, and thank you for guys having this conversation, is that it really does, if I could reflect, come to the state of mind. I mean, being aware of where you're at with all of this and what you're
Hmm.
looking for, and checking in with yourself at all the time. And if you're in a relationship, communicating with your partner, because hopefully you can have, it's not about giving up sex, or it's not about just, one or the other. It's about finding a balance of all those, and all of it can be great. But going in with more of an awareness, realizing that our history hasn't always given us the tools to connect, and with current history, apps and social media, there's not a lot of support for that. And so finding that balance and really trying to connect. If
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
For having sex and so forth. So I love it. Thanks for having this conversation. We'll continue. You can always continue the conversation over on our Tags Patreon community. Go to patreon.com/Tags podcast. But it's time to get into hot topics, and there is a lot. For start, one thing, the Brits are the version of the Grammys over in the UK. And my one and only that Diego and I follow, Sarah Storrie on Radio 1, was saying that she was going to be backstage. And so it was on YouTube over the weekend and we watched it. It was so good. If the Grammys were good, this was just as good. We liked the staging more, but the tribute to Mark Ronson, and Mark Ronson has written so many hits for Lady Gaga, Dua Lipa. I mean, everybody, none other than Amy Winehouse, and he did a whole salute to Amy Winehouse. But when Dua Lipa came down from a disco ball to sing all of her hits, did you see it, Jeremy?
Yeah, it was incredible. I loved it.
Amazing. Harry Styles opened up the Brits, and I love his new song Aperture. It's so good. Really look it up. Harry Styles, the Brits 2026, so good. Rosalia is everything right now. I mean, she
Olivia Dean won 4 awards.
Olivia Dean.
Wow.
Ray was spectacular, bringing some old school vibe. It was really good. Like, really good. We loved it. And also over the weekend here in the US, Connor Storrie of Heated Rivalry was the host of SNL. And
baby.
Oh my goodness. He's got amazing comedic timing, looked amazing, of course. And it was really brilliant. And his co-host or his colleague on Heated Rivalry also had an appearance on there, who we love. What's his name, Cody?
Hudson Williams,
who I love as well. Yes. And if you want to watch some fun clips, check it out. Also, Connor is on the current Vogue cover of, I think he's on Vogue Adria.
Oh, I love it.
I mean...
Yeah, I didn't see that. Where's Adria?
Adria.
It's really gorgeous. I love all of these like vintage looking outfits.
He wore
and
a lot
clothes.
of these kind of pants in SNL, those kind of high-waisted, that kind of belt.
Vogue Adria serves countries of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia, and Slovenia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to other hot topics that are making the news right now. Okay, we covered some fun stuff. Now, the middle of America, Kansas, is banning trans people from driving cars unless the license has sex assigned at birth. And Idaho, on a separate story, is striking again to try and erase same-sex marriage victory. And Cody, we did a story where Tennessee was trying to block same-sex marriage. That probably won't go anywhere. I mean, I'm just moving. I moved from California. I skipped all the middle and went to the East Coast. And my next move is taking me to Europe. But I don't know. I mean,
Canada's cold.
Yeah. What do you make of all this, Jeremy, when, the administration, states like this are trying to just really pull our rights?
I just think it's really pathetic, and I just think all of these people need a hobby and a life that's outside of like chastising others. Like no one's forcing you to be transgender or gay or any of that. So it's like just find a meaningful like life for yourself and stay in it, and just leave everyone else alone that is trying to do the same thing, trying to find their way. And just live their life as their true selves.
Yeah, it's like such a total waste of time, especially as a tax-paying person. I mean, maybe if you live in these places, you would agree with some of these things, but don't you think we all have bigger fish to fry than worry about, trans people, gay people are not going away. Marriage is in the rule of law across the nation that you can be married. So the Supreme Court already turned it down and said they're not going to hear any of these cases. And so if you were a tax-paying dollar living in these places, I know you lived in Kansas at one point, Cody. What a waste of
Stop telling people that.
what a waste of time to focus on these things and continuously pull them up. Are they just inciting their, the people of these states?
I mean, apparently these people that live here and want to control other people, they have the time. I guess they don't have anything worthwhile going on in their own lives because, oh my gosh, their kids hate them, and they just want to control all the other people around them because they want everybody to be just like them and be cookie cutter. So I don't understand it. I'll never get behind it. And I agree with Jeremy 100%. They need to mind their own fucking business.
Yeah, focus on the roads that are all crappy and the bridges and in our subway system. And
I just don't understand like how they could have that much time on their hands to focus on people's licenses and their identity on there. I mean, it's just so pathetic. It's like next level.
yeah, even the Pope was asked recently in an interview if he was going to accept same-sex marriage, and he said no, not at this time. But if you listen to the entirety of the interview, his point was we need to really kind of simmer down the conversation because he realized it's such a divisive topic, and he's more about welcoming people into the Catholic religion, and anybody that wants to come into, you're welcome. But he's avoiding saying sides, and right now, sadly, he's not going to go down that road because he just thinks it's so divisive right now. And it's almost like he's looking above and seeing like, yeah, you guys aren't ready for this, but we welcome everybody, and until that peacefulness occurs across nations, we are not going to go there. But he wants to focus more on peace, and so I just think, yeah, ugh.
I think we all should.
Changing topics. A recent article came out that asked the question, do you code switch when you date? The quiet calculations gay men make. And it was preceded by a funny video of these two guys. I'll post this on our Patreon community. Of code switching is the act of adjusting how we communicate depending on who we're with. Linguistics originally used the term to describe people who move between languages, dialects, or accents, especially bilinguals. But one Redditor put the question, everyone code switches, gay, straight, bi, whatever. Do you talk to your parents the way you talk to your friends, your workmates, the same way you talk to your lover? And it sparked a whole question on all of this. I used to definitely, because I've got a deeper voice, and I would definitely code switch when I was around straight people, or if I was nervous, my voice got a lot deeper, and it just, I did a little bit. Now I've met the reason I know I don't code switch as much at all is because my life's an open book. And I mean, hello, you just Google me and it's like, he runs a sex gay podcast about sex. And people that have met me, listeners, are like, wow, people have said, I know that voice. I was on the Puerto Vallarta Blue Chairs Beach like 6 months ago, and somebody heard my voice and said, oh my God, are you the host of Tag's podcast? I listen. So I don't think I do code switch at all anymore. But Jeremy, when you were dating, did you code switch at all or in certain situations?
I mean, I think I still code switch when it comes to like how you speak with your family versus how you speak at work versus how you speak with your friends and your partner. I feel like it's inevitable when I guess like being in a professional work setting, you're not gonna like use the slang that you would use with your friends, and I definitely swear a lot less. And I feel like definitely it's something that I've always done. I think it's the settings that you're in. It's easy to change it. I don't change it drastically, but I definitely edit out certain things that I say.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool when you think about it. I mean, I think if you're doing it to try and lure a certain person, you want them to think of you in a certain way, it's one thing. But
Hmm.
I also think out of a human nature kind of study, it's kind of cool that we have that ability to change with our girlfriends. To like tomorrow, I have this, pitch meeting to a potential collaborator, and I'll let you know how that goes later if it's successful. But I will, I was reviewing all of the terminology and the things so I know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to have a more certain tone to it as opposed to when I'm talking to my mother or family members. And or I do, if it's some of my, even though a lot of my straight bros know I'm gay, I have a whole lingo with them too, and it's kind of fun. But I mean, I do, and it's kind of fun. Do you code switch when you were dating, Cody? And what do you think about this whole topic?
I code switch all the time. Code switching for me has been about safety for a large period of my life. But now I feel like all the pieces of myself, I feel like they come out with different people. So I think that if I am acting more masculine with someone, it's because that is what they are bringing out, a piece of me that is more masculine or more feminine. If I'm with you guys, I'm going to be a little bit more kiki, fun time, homosexual guy. But it just really depends on who I'm around. And I don't think that it is phony or fake. I think that all of those facets of my personality, because I do have a more masculine side to me and I do have a more feminine side to me, and I accept both of them. So why not? The one thing I will say is kind of fake now that I'm thinking about it. I do put on like a little kiki voice to make some people feel like safer in life. Have you ever watched Bad Boys when they're like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are going into the house and they're like, please don't be alarmed. It's just us Negroes here. And they're like talking in their white voice. It's so funny, but it's true.
Code switching, I think, could be fun. I mean, it's the, we love our animals, but they can't speak. And so the beauty of humanity is that we have all these different facets inside to ourselves. And speech, I mean, I'm a speech communications person. It's so amazing, and how you can change and inflect and do all kinds of different ways with it in certain situations. Now, I do think if you are doing it to put on sort of a front to, talk to certain people to get them to like you, that could be a whole different thing, because they're going to find out in the end that you're not really like that. So it's not a bad thing, and I think we all do it. And I don't know, let us know what you think about that. Moving on, Jeremy, I did send in your text message.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, good. So we're back to, and we have to always do this when Jeremy's on the show, our fashion expert here, but Sniffies continuously, I mean, I love Sniffies. We've had them on the show before, and they continue to come out with new collections all the time. And we haven't always been so favorable to them, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this current one. Cody, I put it in our link on Zencaster there.
Yep.
But the collection from the queer cruising platform leans hard in blue collar fantasy. Okay, that's the ticket that we're running with. Roadside grit and unapologetic attitude is what we're going with. At first glance, I love the terms, because we are so sick of this damn winter that anything to just get us into like less and less and have a, not a full on parka on, I'm for it. But then as we go through it, what do we think? So we're looking at, if you will, how would you describe what they're going for, Jeremy, and then tell us what you think?
I mean, I feel like I do like the art direction, and I think that the photo
Describe it.
the
Like
photos
what is
the photos themselves are really showing mechanics in an auto body shop. And I think a lot of the clothing itself is reminiscent of Carhartt and uh,
Oh,
like mechanics clothing that they would wear daily to work at a car body shop, and a lot of them are
Grease
covered
and
in oil and grease and things like that that you'd get covered in when you're working at that. And I think the art direction I do like. The clothing I don't find is something in like a necessity or something that you would have to have or need.
right.
I do like the blue. There's one blue shirt that says
Me
Sniffies on the
too.
back and
That's the
has
one
like,
I like.
and I think that one is pretty slick with their wording and what they say on it. So they make it look almost exactly like what a mechanic would wear, but
Yeah, it's
it
like a blue
says,
open shirt that you would wear with
It's a
their
button down, right?
patches
yeah.
that I feel like you could
But
put
it
a few
says
of your own.
slide into Sniffy's lubrication specialist, nuts, shafts, and gaskets. I think that alone is smart marketing, and this makes sense for them. And it also looks like something that would look good on most people. It's simple and wearable, and I feel like it's not trying too hard, but it's fun and on theme with this shoot. The rest of it, I don't think anyone really needs. Maybe the
Yeah.
jock straps because they go with it, but the rest, I'm not in love with. But that specifically, I do like.
Yeah, that one shirt I noticed too. And I also feel like if you got it, you could get a few more of your own patches and make it your own. And I might do a few things to it. I
Well,
might need
and
to
I
have
feel like
this
it's like in summer, you could wear that with like cut off jean shorts and some Timberland boots and make it look hot.
and a wife
And
beater underneath.
yeah, it would be easy to style that. The
Yeah.
rest, I do feel like you could find it at a thrift store.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly, that's how I feel. Cody, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I agree with you guys. Except for I already dress like this, so I already have. But I agree 100% that blue button down. I saw it and I was like, oh, I might actually buy that because it is very cute, and you might see me in it this summer. So, except for I wouldn't wear a tank top underneath it. I would just wear it open
Well,
and.
we knew that.
I mean,
I'm nothing if not consistent, right?
yes, exactly. I know. And then I'm putting this one in. We have one last one and then one advice, and then we are done. Jeremy, let me know when you got it.
No, I got it and I love
Okay.
it.
Oh my gosh. Heated rivalry. Who knew? It turns out we're probably just going to get. They say that we're not going to get the next season for another couple years, but it doesn't almost matter because we just keep. I mean, the show and the subjects and the just keeps giving and giving and giving. I mean, we've been talking about this show in various ways. At I mean, they keep giving and giving, correct?
Oh
And
yeah, and
the
we love it when they give
latest
and give.
yeah, the latest is if you saw the season finale or one of the last episodes, fancy a heated rivalry style getaway. Shane and Ilya's Love Nest Cottage, the one where they went to stay, is now available on Airbnb. And at last look, for a short window, the property opens for a regular booking. Guests will be able to reserve it for 248 Canadian dollars or $181 a night, I believe, in US. And it's not like I'll post this on Tag's podcast. Situated on the shores of Lake Musaka, about 200 kilometers or 124 miles north of Toronto, the cottage came to symbolize a sort of new beginnings for Ilya and Shane, rival professional hockey players portrayed by Connor and Storrie. Um, this house, all right, Jeremy, what do you think of the house, and what do you
Well,
think of
of
the
course,
price?
I'm obsessed with it because it's black and it's contemporary, and
And it's
I love all of it. I mean, it was sexy in the show, but I really do love it. Like I think that the just the style of it is so cool and such a modern rustic twist on a cottage, and just seeing it in the show is sexy enough. Like all the glass walls and them like having their intimate moments there, and Ilya referencing like I'm coming to the cottage when he's like wrapping
Oh,
up all of his family drama in Russia. So I love it, and I think it's so cool, and I'm sure it'll do well.
not a neighbor in sight, surrounded by gorgeous, rustic, I mean, windows everywhere. You could have sex everywhere. I mean, oh my God. Who would play Ilya? Who would play the other character? You could just have all these fantasies. But I mean, the price, Jeremy, is this like only going to last for so long?
I think the price is really low, to be honest.
Low.
Yeah. Oh yeah, low.
I mean, for that whole house, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I know. Cody, weigh in.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I can't wait to do this. I've already sent it to, I have a friend, you met her, Steve, and we discuss Heated Rivalry all the time, and she sends me all the memes. I send her all the memes. So if you guys are trying to get in on this Airbnb Heated Rivalry thing, we are planning.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Oh my God.
Let's go. I'm so down.
And lastly, I will just leave you with, I thought this was a really cool collab that is out now. Do you guys know DJ Iliad Cohen?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so, yeah.
I heard Diego go, yes. Yeah. He seems like a really cool guy, actually. I mean, hot, of course. But he has a new single out with none other than actor Luke Evans. You guys know Luke Evans?
Yes.
Amen. And he's coming to Broadway, I believe, soon. And they just collaborated on a brand new track called One Time Lover. I listened to it. It's really like a dance floor anthem. It's really good. It's in my mix right now. Just wanted to shout that out. And they put it out, they're friends. And I just think it's kind of cool and what we kind of needed too, this happiness. And as I told Diego, this is the year to dance. We need to dance, Diego. And he said, okay, we're dancing. So this is what I did. That's my theme of this year, the year of the horse. Yeah, to dance, dance, dance. And with that, thank you for indulging us in this amazing conversation. You can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on Instagram at jrosslopez, at jrosslopez. Follow Cody on Blue Sky and on the gram at Mr. Maurice. Don't forget, he's got an EP out, Thing of Beauty, wherever you get your music. It is so good. Video coming out soon, Cody.
Yes, I have to show you the final cut. You and Jeremy.
I'm so excited.
So exciting.
Yay.
Directed by our one and only co-host, Teddy Alexis. So super excited. We'll have Teddy on to talk about that. We are live this Wednesday with none other than Mama Tits out of Puerto Vallarta. She's going to be talking about her. I know, Mama Tits, we love her. She's going to be talking about her prostate cancer journey and where she's at now, but also the state of Puerto Vallarta and her new show, which I can't wait to see in April. But you can follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.